Norway is a big country, so we decided to split our Norway motorcycle video in two parts. This video shows part 1 in northern Norway, basically going from Kirkenes to a little village called Skjøpsvik a bit south of Narvik. There aren't many Trans-Euro trail tracks in Norway, so our Norway trip was mainly on perfect bitumen. When we entered Norway from Finland in the very northeast, we first passed Kirkenes to the most northeastern end of Norway to a fantastic place called Grense Jakobselv right next to the Russian border.
Leck mich am Arsch, jetzt ist die Einsamkeit vorbei.
Grense Jakobselv is only a few houses at the shore of the Barents Sea with a beautiful old stone chapel. It's so small that we wouldn't even call it a village. The tiny road leading to this most northeastern end of Norway is spectacular and quite remote. So we got our first touristic shock in Norway after we came around the last corner before the dead-end parking. The whole parking was blocked with mainly German camper vans. At least they had already lit a fire, although there is hardly any wood to burn in this area. The temperature was at 4 degrees Celsius and it started to rain. Probably noticed that it was end of June for fuck's sake. The next morning it didn't rain anymore, at least not at the beginning. Our next target was the Varanger Peninsula north of us, with Norway's most eastern town Vardø and a small fisher village called Hamningberg. Vardø is situated on a small island that is connected to the Varanger Peninsula by an interesting tunnel below the sea. We tried to camp there, but it doesn't seem to be allowed anymore and isn't very ideal anyway due to the lack of any wind protection. So we only had a look to the northern viewpoint that is actually quite nice. Probably even nicer without any fear of getting soaked again by the next crazy rain shower. There is also a weird looking sculpture on the way that is supposed to be a mixture of a whale and a Viking ship. It actually looks quite cool with that scenery. coastal road to Hamningberg is really spectacular and also feels unreal in a way. Mainly because you would expect a dirt road in most of the countries in this world. However, in Norway they built a perfect one-lane tarmac road leading through a bizarre coastal rock landscape to a tiny fisherman village at the end of the world. Hamningberg is a half-abandoned fisherman village in the very north of the Varanger Peninsula. Some people still use their houses as summer cottages, therefore it doesn't look neglected at all. That doesn't mean that one meets a lot of people though. The landscape and the climate is extremely rough up there, and it's easy to imagine how uncomfortable it must be in wintertime. There is also a viewpoint on top of the mountain where you can overlook the whole picturesque bay. Hamningberg was definitely one of our highlights in northern Norway and, spoiler, for sure much nicer than the world-famous North Cape. After we came down again from Hamningberg's viewpoint, we tried to ride westwards to Båtsfjord, but there are no tracks to reach the western part of Varanger Peninsula from here. So we had to return on the same long route where we came from. Our next destination was North Cape, but due to all the fjords in Norway, that was first of all quite a trip.
Marokko! "35 degrees in Central Europe. 5 degrees here.
And rain.
But summer hasn't started yet.
What are we doing now, Toby?
We ride in the nighttime because in daytime it's fucking raining all day and it's 4 degrees.
But now it's sunny and nice.
The 130 kilometers from Oldafjord to the North Cape gave us already an idea how crowded this place would be. It seemed like there were camper vans for free somewhere. We have never seen that many campers before in any other place of this world. The North Cape parking was almost full, although the weather wasn't even that great. Luckily, since 2021, one doesn't have to pay the ridiculous parking fee anymore. Parking is for free now, and you only have to pay when entering the visitor center. The cliffs around look quite nice, however some sunshine would have been nice. Since the parking was so crowded, we finally decided to camp a few kilometers earlier. And we found a great spot in the end. Obviously, we were still a bit tired the next morning. Our next destination was Tromsø, around 700 kilometers southwest of us. The weather seemed to clear up now, but that didn't mean it was getting warmer straight away. Tromsø we met two friends and one of them lives in Skipsvik, where this part of our Norway video will end. However, we took a detour down south over the beautiful Senja Island. Therefore, we also had to take our first ferry in Norway. The best and cheapest way to pay for these ferries is to register on the Norwegian Ferry Pay website. They take a photo of your license plate and you'll get charged via credit card. Otherwise, they'll send you a bill to your home residence to get paid and you can count on some hefty fees. We have not seen any possibilities to pay with cash, and only at a few ports they were offering credit card payment. So just use Ferry Pay to have the least trouble.